I hope that Japan is more to offer than anime, but let's see. I'll find out.
I don't know. I want to know why you chose Japan to go to.
Well, originally I think it was on the list because my husband's parents would have met us here for a while. They're in China, but then they weren't able to get a visa, but we decided to go through with the trip anyway.
Oh, there's a perfectly logical explanation that has nothing to do with Japan. Oh,
Okay, cramps.
noodles, 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 noodles.
But I'm just interested in Johan's comment around when he surveys like a subway and he sees that it's only one person who occurs as an adult. I'm curious if you scan the world for like adults as well and what you track or
No,
signifiers as well.
I just assume that they're all kids. I would be interested, if I was actually had a little bit more energy, I would put Jokin's hands above his head and lock him into place and stretch him and say, "What were the signifiers? Tell me, what are the signifiers that you clue into that they're an adult?" And then I would disprove it, and he would feel very, very small, and we've been back to stage one.
Now I know what your idea of fun is.
Oh, Jochen, I'm just being cartoony with you. The real fun is a lot messier. There's the only way that I know. If you trap me in a corner and make me give you a woo answer, there's weird things to check, but most of the time it's through the use of language.
I'm also wondering how I can lean more into. I have it that Igor has this incredible ability to point out patterns that he sees in people. I mean, he may need several hours of time with them, but I have it that he could still do it in like more cold read format. And is able to point out all sorts of patterns about ways in which they're holding themselves back or things that are not working. And there's something that's really remarkable about it, or I find it like a super strong superpower.
It's
Um, yeah.
yes, we could like laud you for studying really hard, Igor, or working, but we're going to call it a superpower because that means it was just genetic, and none of us can hope to do it. We have to come and ask you to use your superpowers for good. We're not
Okay,
going to call
that's a
them
really good point.
super learnings.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
but
great point.
it's like why in your culture, Alton, everybody says, "What's your superpower?" And you guys,
Hmm.
you actually take it seriously. It's like, can I jump over a building? Can I have X-ray vision? No, I can cold read people really well. Thank God you're from Krypton. That explains everything.
Mhm.
Just want to clarify that Alton said that. I did not say any of those things.
Yeah, you're way too modest. Clark Kent. Hey. That's an example of language, Alton. If you say, Igor's got some straight superpowers, I'm like, inner child. There you go. Yes, believes that people have superpowers. Okay.
It's like a shorthand. Yeah, I have it that it's very
Oh, yeah.
effective at some point.
Yeah. More shorthand than saying Igor's talented. Yeah, I can see how superpowers is a shortened, abbreviated form of talented. Come on, God. Superpowers, comic books, specialness.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to have superpowers.
Mhm. I still endorse the frame. I hear what you're saying
I don't
behind it.
care.
And you could
What?
still like X-Men, they go to a school to hone their superpowers.
Alton, just why do you want there to be superpowers instead of learnings?
I have it. There's a combination, like the School for the Gifted or Xavier's things is
So you're not pointing at it. What is it? What is it about? If it's straight up learning, you're like, no, it can't be straight up learning. It has to be this other thing. It has to be a superpower. I'm like, why do you want to have a story that it's something other than straight up learning?
I don't. I'm not asserting that it has to be. I like that as a shorthand frame, and I hear that that doesn't work well for you. I'm all right. Well,
No,
I'm happy to try the multicultural frame on it. Yeah.
It's not whether it works or not. I'm trying to point out a blind spot of yours, and you're like, well, fine there, Mr. Logical. I can use learning too. I'm like, I'm pointing at a blind spot. I like superpowers. I'm like, I understand that. People don't want to analyze people do not want to turn their intelligence on their blind spots. That's why they're blind spots. And
Well,
they
I said it was a
resist
good point, and I have it that seems reasonable to update on. And
I don't believe you. You, what's a good? I feel like the only move you did is accept the argument, but I don't think you've actually honestly evaluated why you chose that word and gave possible theories as to what internal processes drove you to choose that word.
Oh my God, he's Russian. Oh no. Oh no.
Originally from Bosnia.
Bosnia, Russia, man.
Yeah.
And you're a computer scientist of some kind? You're a
Yeah.
coder of some kind? Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. This is gonna be fun.
well, that was to me that was really well articulated. And
I know, but
I
all you
hadn't-
have to do is if you want to see him short circuit, you just wave a pair of used frilly underwear in his face.
Hmm.
And he's, yeah.
I don't
Does
understand
not
reference to-
compute. Does not compute. Most geeky programmers don't know the first thing about. They're threatened by women's underwear.
Hmm.
How does that have to do with what we just said?
Just trying to fuck with me.
Whether he rises to the bait or not, he's Bosnian. He knows that I'm going to have to get much more clever. Yeah, okay, fine. Money wasn't good enough in Bosnia.
What wasn't good enough?
The money wasn't good enough in Bosnia.
No, it's a pretty fucked up place. Lots of interesting history. I prefer the US.
For what reason?
Government's less corrupt, jobs are easier to find, people are nicer, less history of ethnic strife and violence.
Can you just see him reading the list? How's your sex life? Yep, there you go.
It's on pause right now.
It's on pause. Dry as a bone. I haven't gotten laid in a year. Not through lack of want, but it's more polite to say I chose to hit the pause button. I don't care.
Your inquiry. Okay, I'm trying to understand what your inquiry is here. You're
Just trying to push my sexuality button, so I'll defend myself or something like that.
No, I'm seeing where. So
he's trying to poke me from all different sides, and he's trying to guess which ones would be sensitive.
They're all shit.
There's no actual inquiry. He's just trying to shake me.
Well, is that true? Is that?
I do not give a shit when the last time you had sex with what or that does not matter. This is the stimulus response test.
Yeah. You're just trying to see how I react when challenged in different ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do
like
challenges, is that?
Yeah, but that's not like he's not like trying to find things out about me. What's he say? He's just trying to poke at to see how I respond and like where it's sensitive and where it's like comfortable and like whether I go into like a logical part or whether I respond emotionally or do I get stiffer. Like he's just trying to read me that way.
Can you do this emotionally too, Igor? No.
Like I be present emotionally when I do this?
No. Can you dance as well with your emotions with other people as you do with your intellect?
Not as well. No, definitely not as well.
So Alton, it's like you have little electrodes and you're going to try, let's try his nipples. Let's try his earlobe. Ooh, genitalia. I'm going to try to get information out of him. But until I can sort of guess more about him, so I'm an old man. That little thing that's between coda and Dakota, does that mean it's in transition? Is that like a code for I'm transitioning from a coda to a Dakota?
Yeah, I had a lot of emotional stuff happen today, but I feel like I'm now in the processing it more from Dakota, but there's still a little bit of coda here.
I'm processing it. What is this, Hogwarts? I'm processing my emotions. Hi there.
We're at the academy.
I'm Coda's clitoris. How are you? La-di-da. There's Coda. She takes a while to deplane.
What?
This is Coda. She takes a while to deplane. I was on an emotional journey today. And I still have vague whisperings of it in my being. So I just want to let you know that I'm not all the way here yet. I'll be here shortly.
Oh.
Yeah, give me a few minutes to land the plane.
Fuck you. No. You're much better when you're not all set and ready.
I'm much better when I'm what?
Not all set and ready.
Cray, you're a little contradictory. Like you kind of
you called me feminine? Oh, how dare you? You slut. Contradictory. As if that's a bad thing. So the universe is going to give me a break today. It's going to make this nice and easy and simple, right? Yeah. All right. Good. Last hang was a fucking zoo. Oops, sorry, Facebook. I forgot. Please don't punish him. It's not his fault. Punish me. I said the bad words.
Actually, yeah, I don't think any of them have been taken off from language. I would imagine, or maybe Facebook would not promote it.
Alton.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you saying?
I'm hedging that Cray doesn't need to be concerned about obscenities unless if he's concerned about my edge rank for these. The people who are most invested in these will choose to find these.
Alton, are you being Alton right now?
Am I being Alton right now?
Are you people pleasing?
I'm adding context to support Cray's.
For who? It's not for Cray.
Are you mansplaining, Coda?
Sorry, I'm having a lot of fun.
Oh, good. Yeah, let's just string another one up. As long as we're having fun.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? String another one up. Yeah. As long as Coda's having fun, that's all that matters. Let's go out behind our house and see if we can find a pile of children's bodies. I was just having fun.
Sounds pretty fun.
I don't understand what the alternative is here, you guys. I'm just want to set clear containers and things, so I'm confused what game you're playing. I'm trying to.
Yeah, so stop using this. and feel for the texture. I don't know how you're going to do that, but stop following the bouncing ball as it hits all the words and see if you can hear the music, feel the texture, smell the Cinnabons. How do you know this, Igor?
What do you say?
How do you know this?
How do I know what?
What I'm talking about. You're a computer programmer. You should know this shit.
Oh, well, I guess universe has rules about who can know stuff and who can't know things, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
No, you don't show up like somebody who's conversant with cooking.
Yeah, I can see that.
Alton shows up like somebody who can follow a recipe. That's not cooking. That's chemistry.
Yeah.
I'm acquiring more of a palate for this tasting the chocolate of what's beyond the words.
Right. So now you can look at Coda and you can taste that superficial sheen that she loves to put out there. Then you can take, maybe I'll apply a dojo principle. Jesus, her public face is 180 from what she's hiding. Your public face is the face that you were taught to put forward because it got you praise from your caregivers or whatever it was. Your private face is...
There's a lot of pushback frames with Dakota. I make up that she gets her identity from pushing back or rallying against. And so that's a different...
That's her public face. Yes. What's her private face? What's the 180?
Receptivity.
Tell me who I am.
She wants to be told.
I would say that in that container, she wants to be danced to a thing that she can say, oh. And because she's so blaring, I imagine the place she wants to get to is really quiet.
A place without words.
And if the theory holds true, she can't do it with her public face.
I'm actively working on that.
Oh, well, it's like Trump's working on not being a misogynist, huh? Whoa. How are you going to learn how to run the 440 when you're in a place where you have no legs? You have to get to the place where that part of you is so damn afraid of being seen, or whatever it is. And you have to say, I'm not going to hide this anymore. And you have to take the action that makes it unhidden. Now, back in the day, some version of this got you in a lot of trouble. So now you can do what your public face will do, and you'll expose it, but you'll make it into a clown suit. You'll make it funny. You'll make it dramatic instead of the simple truth of what it is.
It's reminding me of how Courtney the other day was like, I challenge you to create a status without emojis.
Yeah. I challenge you to be a status without turning it into a clown suit.
Could you challenge her to be a status without turning it into
a clown suit?
Mm.
So one of the places you can explore coda is go to coffee with somebody. Take a little notebook. Every time you notice the clown suit, you make a little hash mark. See how long it takes you to fill up a page. That's your coping skills. That's your trauma. And you're letting it run your life.
Ray, can you be more clear with what you mean by clown suit in terms of behavioral actions that I do? Is it like the flexing, the needing to explain, the
Ready? That right there. That smile. Yeah. How was sex with Mr. Right?
how is that related
That's your clown face right there.
with Mr. Right, you're saying?
No, just in answer to the question. You're asking for a demonstration of your clown suit. I'm you know, I right there. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I need to understand the specific point that you're pointing to in a way that lands for me in order to digest this and integrate it.
Okay, so yeah, that right there, that one right there. All you have to do is get off this call for a couple minutes. Okay, go back and watch the last 2 minutes. That's all you have to do. That eye raising thing you do, that like rolling your eyes back, that's also clown suit. You're not a zombie, okay?
I know.
You're still here. Oh, there it went again.
I'm annoyed.
So I challenge you, little Miss Coda, to own what's underneath the annoyance. Yeah, that just you don't have to say a word, just own it to yourself. You can call me a F head too if you want.
Is the ownership best conveyed in words or embodiment?
What do you think?
Embodiment, and that makes me more annoyed.
Yes, it certainly does. That makes yep. See? Oh no, wait a second. Here comes the clown suit. Yep. Oh, there it is. Eyes rolling. Yep. Mm-hmm. Now, for special occasions, she has the crying clown suit. Okay. When the laughing one doesn't work, she'll drag out the crying one. And if that doesn't work, she'll pull out the flooding one. The flooding one usually gets the job done.
What is the alternative that you see, Cray, if not the laughing, crying, flooding clown suits?
Stop avoiding whatever it is those things were designed to avoid. Practice owning the things that are behind the clown suit. Something is happening in you, and you're going, hey, look at my hands. Look at my hands. Look, they might do a magic trick. They might not. But if you look here, you can't see my heart.
Yeah.
La 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 la. I highly recommend Coda, because you believe in those huge titanic storms inside yourself are real, that you practice outing this stuff by yourself. Practice first. And then if you really want to be tough as nails, you can say, hey, I'm doing my laughing clown suit right now, and it's covering up my pa 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 pa. Yeah. Oh, there the God. Don't you love the tells? Like you're like, I fold. And like Coda, the thing is that you're not stupid. You know that rolling your eyes is a big signal in your culture.
Mm-hmm. People
It's
depend
not,
on me for it.
yeah, it's not real. There's nothing happening in you that deserves an actual eye roll. Yeah. Yeah, but it's a great coping strategy. You can make people stand up and bark and beg, and you don't have to actually be authentic at all. You just have to know the codes. Yeah, yeah. Care to out that?
My shake.
Yeah. Usually, may I? You won't like it. Usually, that kind of shake means that you're getting a better sit on something.
What was occurring for me in the moment is I
Ever
was
been
feeling,
to ever been to acting school?
of course, Craig.
Then why in the hell are you going with that same old understanding when you could try something new and different? But fine, why don't you trot out that old story and we'll all nod our head and we'll
I
all
was going to
probably
share the vulnerability of what was underneath why I did the shake, and now I feel like you're fucking being super annoying.
yes,
I
because
heard you. I know we're in acting school.
if you want to do something, do it with weight. Don't anybody can meditate in the goddamn temple. You want to be vulnerable? Do it when there's danger, not a bunch of wimpy ass little idiots who couldn't punch their way out of a bag. Oh, look, I'm being vulnerable and there's nobody in the room with me. Oh my goodness, Coda, you're so brave.
Mm. Mm.
Does it look like fun, Igor?
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah. You're not objectifying her, are you, Igor?
What? I was
You're
looking
not
at his face.
objectifying her, are you?
But things minds
Oh.
objectify often. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I'm just watching and laughing.
Alton's in puzzled land.
Yeah.
Alton, what are you puzzled by?
Corey's capacity to just point out these patterns so cleanly and also while leaving smiles on people's faces and it lands for me. I'm like, it's still such a marvel to me.
I love this. I
Right.
love when people point out my patterns and dance with me in it.
Mm-hmm.
Pray, shut the fuck up. I fucking see you. Back the fuck off.
Yeah, why? You love it so much. Huh? Methinks thou dost protest too much, Lady Macbeth. Good girls are supposed to say, back up when it gets too close. The bad girls are like, come closer. But you're a good girl, aren't you?
Cray,
Yes.
stop.
Why?
Don't play into that right now.
Why? You want to compete? Then show up. You being out there playing with kindergartners does not make you a champion. You're going to get bloodied. It's going to hurt. It's going to get ugly. You're going to make mistakes. So will I. And that's part of the game.
So you're encouraging me getting bloodied.
I'm encouraging you to practice taking a hit and not collapsing. And you do know where the biggest hits are going to come from, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Where? Where are the biggest hits going to come from? Oh, there goes that eye roll again.
My
Where are the
defenses of vulnerability are coming up so strong right now.
where are the biggest hits going to come from? You, Coda. When you take one of those inner children and punch it in the face. When you do to the inner kids the things that you promised you'd never let happen to them again. They don't get to be the boss of you. As far as I can tell, if you do this, if you really apply yourself, sooner or later, you're going to have to do to yourself the mechanism of your abuse. Sooner
Yep.
or later, that's what it's going to look like.
And
And
just
you
to,
have to. Mm-hmm.
just to be clear, so like the way that I'm interpreting what you're saying is that
Okay, whoa.
I know I'm going into
whoa.
explainer. Let me roll the fuck down. Hold
Slow.
on.
So all I'm saying is slow down.
Okay.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
If I'm hearing you correctly, you are saying that I am going to have to punish my little Coda essentially
Yep.
in order to get what I want.
On a non-superficial level, yes. I think you want the freedom. And if you want to go all the way, you have to become free from them also.
Yep.
Everything burns.
Yep.
So the biting your tongue and sticking it out, you probably want to get rid of that one.
I am working on that as
All
well.
girlish things you put in the closet. When you're out there in public, your girlish things get put in the closet and you become the woman and act like the woman that's going to get you the life that you want.
Okay. What are behavioral distinguishments that you see externally between the girl and the woman?
Then you watch the tape, note them down, and see what my opinion is. I'm not doing your work for you. You're not going to get daddy to tell you what a good girl looks like or a bad girl. There are plenty of recordings of you out there, Cody. And I really suggest that you have a wing person when you do this because it can get really troublesome. When you're sitting there and you think you're leading a group or you're doing some amazing stuff, and when you look at that with an analyzer, you're like, oh my God.
Well, okay. I don't actually think it's wrong to lead from different parts of yourself.
Okay. That's fine.
I will
That's
admit,
belief.
though, it is a belief, and I will admit that I do have some sort of projecting future narrative that suggests that I'm in my woman, that I will be able to lead more efficiently, more consistently.
Gee, I wonder why acting like a woman would make you more efficient than acting like a child. Gee, you want to teach the women out there how to be better children?
Ugh.
Is that what you're saying?
Ugh.
The way you can be more effective out there in that misogynistic adolescent masculine, power culture of ours is to be a better Lolita. There you go. That's what we're all trying to do.
Shut the fuck up.
You're welcome. Come on, Igor, aren't you going to play or are you just a voyeur?
Mostly a voyeur.
Igor, play.
Oh God, really? Really? So I want you to look at that one.
No, I know is bad. It's
But
really
it's
bad.
not bad. You're letting a little girl go out there and be seductive to a man. You're in charge, Coda. Back in the days of IC land, of IFS land, you're the pimp for that little girl. You're selling her.
I hate this fucking thing you spin.
I don't care. Then let it go. I don't care.
I see the validity in it, and the languaging frustrates me.
Oh, language.
You're pulling on chords that force me to feel like I have to be more vulnerable than I'm ready to be.
Oh, might your head explode? What are those little girls telling you about? Don't show your undies. Bad things will happen. You're a woman. You're like, hey, ladies, guess what? You want to practice being vulnerable? Don't do it in your closet. Okay? If you have to, fine. But other than that, make sure that it's safe and then practice being vulnerable. You're the one in charge. The kids that are protecting you, the only way that they're ever going to believe that you can hold this is if you're vulnerable, the bad thing happens and you clean it up. They're not there when your vulnerability goes well.
Trey, what do you think is
Rhoda.
what do you think is the feeling state that I'm in when I'm leading from the girl versus the woman?
What is
With
the feeling
ability.
state that she has?
Yeah, what is the feeling state that you imagine she has versus
I don't know what the feeling state is, but she's like, I want to be special.
you're talking Coda right now?
Yeah. The little girl, she's doing it to either feel special or to be a piece of shit. I don't see you failing too much.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like she has a bunch of little tricks that she learned when she was a little girl that got her really special treatment. And she thinks that all of a sudden those things are supposed to work out. Now the crazy thing is you have found a group of people who are supporting you in staying in that little girl. You're like,
Why would people do
pedophiles
that?
are us. What?
Why would people do that?
Because they don't know what they're doing. They're like, oh, Coda, you're being so cute. You're being so girlish. I like it when you act girlish. When you look at the tapes of yourself and you see how often you're acting girlish by your definitions, it's not going to be fun. What?
I care less about that, but I hear the point you're making.
You care less that you're trotting your little girl out there for pedophilia? Really? How nice of you. How many of the females that you look up to as role models roll their eyes, stick out their tongues, act like little girls? That many, huh? Whatever kind of weird kinky scenes that you want to engage with in wherever it is you like to do kinky scenes, that's fine. Just don't make your life a kink scene.
What's wrong with that?
I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
Because I don't get a taste of you. I get a taste of a little girl. My pedophilia days are way behind me. How you doing, Jochen?
I'm still stuck with a question about like where you asked Igor about why he came to the United States, and I was like comparing Germany and then my first impressions of Japan. And I was talking to my husband yesterday about our experience at a restaurant here. And yeah, it's I certainly, I'm still tasting into my experiences there.
Gotta love the programmers. Let's hit that rewind button again. Okay, let's do it one more time. Noodles.
You're absolutely allowed to ask a follow-up, but you don't like stories.
Jochen, this is about you. This isn't about me. We're not here to grease Cray up.
No, but you're the one who kind of pushes the most, so I guess it is about you in that regard.
Yeah, now how are you going to respond to the pushing? That's up to you.
I'm responding, so push a bit more.
Are you satisfied with how you received?
I'm not dissatisfied.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Am I perfectly satisfied? No.
Am I neutral? This is the same. Whenever I have sex with my husband, my goal is not to be dissatisfied or satisfied, but just to be present for the reality of it. Great.
Not exactly the impression I would go for, but like
I know, but Jochen, you can have a very wide experience of experiences here. There's a lot of things, and if this is what you want, that's fine. If Coda wants to trot her little girls out so they can do the hokey pokey thingy, that's fine. I don't like it, but that's her life.
Wait, Craig, what do you think is missing from these communities, or from like these calls, or from this from these communities?
I don't know shit about your community. But, yeah.
What was missing for you for these dances or these calls that could make it like even more juicy for you?
There's no hips. Looking at Igor, do you even have the faintest inkling that he has a penis? Do you have the faintest inkling that he has testicles of any kind?
And not to believe. Okay, I could imagine feeling people's balls more frequently when I'm speaking with them, and if I listened for that, I could imagine I would evoke more of that.
So remember, what was that woman's name? Leona? Yeah. She walked in and she sits down and like, oh, look, a humanoid robot. That's kind of attractive in a feminine, female kind of way. And you have no idea what kind of body parts she has online. After 15 minutes with Gray, everybody's like, we know exactly what she has online. That to me seems like a more interesting dance than dancing with a bunch of, genderless, non-meaty intellectual programmers. Well, let's talk about Fortran. What you can and cannot do. And did you know they came out with a new C++++++? 5 pluses that are up to now. It's amazing. And artificial agents, you don't really have to program anymore. You just have to tell it. No. I'm like, okay.
I think you're too much of a one-man show, Craig. It's too hard to compete.
You're not trying to compete. You're trying to find the thing that moves you in the way that you want. Coda is like, she's not stupid. She's not coming to me for answers. She's coming to me for experiences.
I hope you're not reading out of my neutral stance that I don't have experiences.
No, you. So look at your pixels, Jochen.
I don't have them on screen, sorry.
Gee, like you're technologically unable to do that.
And then I see what? Tell me.
You tell me what you see.
I see someone leaning back and enjoying the show.
Right. And is this somebody that, okay, I'm going to get weird here. Is this a presentation that makes you hard?
That's not the state I'm going for at the moment, sorry.
I didn't ask that.
No, so the answer is no.
Okay, so look, so would you like to be the thing that makes you hard?
Not right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's okay for me. So
I get that. I get that.
I mean, it's like I was wondering, are you trying to push me in that direction? Because
Boring.
Yeah. Well,
He's trying to see if you're alive or not. He's
no,
trying
no,
to
no,
see.
no, 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 no. Jochen is a really big flirt, but he has a very narrow bandwidth. Okay? I've been on the receiving end of his flirting, and in that narrow bandwidth, it's really quite. It's very nuanced. But if you know how to taste for it, it's really amazing. But he doesn't open up that cabinet hardly ever. And he's got these little tiny glasses, that he hands out, and he's going to see how you hold the glass depends on which liqueur he's going to pick for you.
Okay,
And-
I'm interested in the inquiry around how do we position this type of work to be more of like a moral imperative for the future humanity to get people into this?
No, make it as tasty as you can. Make it as sexy as you can.
Right.
Moral imperative isn't going to do shit.
Okay, for the sake of their future relationships and
No, that's not going to work either.
for the sake of their future sex life, about their present sex life.
That's not going to work either. You have to figure out you can't encourage them with a taste of their monoculture because they know their monoculture is shite.
So you need to meet people where they're at.
First, you have to meet them where they're at. Then you have to point them to the exotic, the thing that is still within range that they can understand, and they understand that they're never going to get there from here.
Hmm.
They have to go to Tahiti for this. Right? That's what's going to get them. That promise of that to them, that different experience that they can't get in their known reality. And it's really difficult because most people are going to make it about a point. They're going to make it about going to Vegas and paying for that. And that's not really embodied. That's a vacation experience. It's an amusement park experience. Oh, look, Jochen's back. He was juicy and sexy and all kinds of sweaty, but no, he's back to where he was. It's fine. It's where he wants to live. Oh, good. Maybe we get a shot of her ass. Not in your best day, darling. You got a ways to go. Now, what's got to happen to Igor so he loses all of that self-assurance? How is somebody going to torture him to where he's flopping around totally out of his prefrontal cortex? Yep. He's praying for that. He's been praying for that for a long time, and nobody's answering his emails.
Alton, why am I here with a bunch of men? Do you have any women friends?
Justin understood what's going to be arriving, and then she said something about eyes dilating, and I added Ellie was also joining, and I don't see her.
Oh, Justin, she's watching.
She's been messaging about some of the things to, yeah.
Justin, come online.
Of course, Jessica's there.
I'm interested in focusing on like how I can take this more into my day to day so that there's like some seed generator, some self-reinforcing context last time was some more of a blowout of deeply in it with others.
Alton, it's not going to be through talking about it.
Mhm.
Mistake number one, Coda. It's not. Don't point them at the not. Point them at the action to take.
Sorry. Oh.
You're going to say sorry, mean it.
There's an image I just posted in the chat that came up after last week's stream with, I think, Allie, Dakota, Leona, and a couple others who were in a group, Justin as well. And I'm interested in this as a thread. It looks like you can see it because I can see your face being red.
Why are you presencing this again?
Because of what you just said.
To me, it doesn't feel related.
I understand. And I make up that that's part of why I would want to bring it up now. I'm interested in specifically in Quay's take on this type of frame. If this
wait a minute. Okay, shut up. He only needs to hear how I appreciate and approve of him, what I desire, and what will please me. If I think he needs communication of any other nature, he's not my man. How I appreciate, I don't want somebody like this. I mean, it's an orientation. That's fine. There are people out there who want to be slaves. What's your question, Alton?
Do you see this as something that's available in an adult relationship? As I tried it on, it seemed like Allie's proposition was that it's something that men derive benefit just from being of service or pleasing their partners.
That's convenient for the partner. That's your job is to please me. I'm like, okay. There better be some coin for the guy.
Yeah. The implication was that it was inherent in the pleasing.
No, it's not. Alton, you got to remember when people are speaking, when they speak in generalities, usually a child. Men all are like this. People are like this. Eggs are horrible. Computer programmers are nerds. Whenever anybody speaks in a generality, that's usually an inner kid, and there's usually issues. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you ask Allie,
you're throwing out all idioms that all idioms are only output by children.
Yes. Why would you say all black people are this or all Chinese people are this? It's not true. Why would you say it?
There are some helpful labels that cleave at some patterns that are recurrent in humanity. It's how I experience it.
You don't know. You haven't experienced humanity. You've experienced a little tiny itsy bitsy bias segment.
Okay, you yourself shared how the physics of humanity are largely the same, and this is like a practice.
This is not physics. This is not physics.
Oh yeah,
Power
sure.
Power games in any relationship is transactional. That's physics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's an example of an idiom that seems actually useful to have in the background.
It is, but it's not about human types. It's about humans. I will never. I will. Okay. All relationships are transactional. Okay, that's about all humans everywhere, every culture, everywhere. Okay, mm-hmm. It can be boy to boy, boy to girl, boy to adult, boy. They're all transactional. There's going to be a power differential. That's always going to be present.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
There was 2 or 3 others I came up with at one time. I don't remember them, but your physics are about humans. If you're saying Chinese, first of all, how do you define Chinese? Do they all have to look like this?
Wait, I don't understand that later statements. How is that related to? You're saying that these idioms are too generic?
Your idioms aren't real. If I say all human relationshiping is power differentials and transactional. It doesn't matter what the color of their skin is. It doesn't matter what plumbing they have.
Mhm.
It does not matter. It's humans of all kinds. Okay? If you're saying women are, first of all, that's biased because you've only met a very small section of them, or you've only read certain documents.
Well, I mean,
You
yeah,
have-
that we already established that when we speak from this, that we're speaking from our personal experience, and that adults can just infer that from each other.
Okay, so if that, I don't know who wrote that.
I don't either.
Okay, so who? What?
I don't know who wrote it either.
Okay,
Ali
so-
was sharing it as a topic of interest last week after the debrief after this.
Okay, so we're going to pretend that Coda wrote that. Okay. All right.
Whoa. I wasn't paying attention because I got
I don't
bored.
give a shit. You're
No,
just being used as
explain.
examples. Shut up. Read it. I'm just using you as an example, okay? Because
With the fucking bullshit from Hannah in the
from somebody. It's bullshit. Yes. If this had said my partner instead of he, as in reference to the generic he, then that's a personal statement. This is what she wants and expects from her masculine partner. That to me makes total sense. I mean, Jochen wants to sit there and and watch cricket. Part of his partner thing is that he's going to sit down every Sunday with me and watch cricket. You guys think I'm talking about the sport, but no, it's about crickets. Okay, they have a pet cricket and they sit there every Sunday morning, drink their coffee, and they watch their cricket.
I don't understand this at all.
I'm tickling Jochen.
Okay, he seems very tickled.
Yes.
That was a good flirt.
Yes, of course it's a flirt. Most programmers really enjoy absurdity as long as it doesn't go too far or too sexual.
No, absurd is fine with me. You can try absurd.
You watching a cricket isn't absurd? I imagine that your little pinkies are extended too as you're drinking your very expensive espressos. Coda.
What?
You're circling some inner child bullshit drain. Stop it.
No, I'm not.
What?
We're gonna grab breakfast now.
Okay.
It's like
here. Do you just objectify him as breakfast, or does he have a name?
Well, that I would definitely take off Zoom.
Oh,
sorry.
It's feeding time at Jochen's house.
Quick! With the little crickets, of course.
Have a great breakfast.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Wow.
Well, what?
Big crowd.
Go beat a drum. I want somebody else to do the heavy lifting. I'm tired of doing the heavy lifting.
It's true.
Whoa.
Well, so great. Dakota led a good container yesterday that I enjoyed, and I want to have in more spaces that largely T group format. And I'm interested in your
diapers. Were you all wearing diapers? Were you all politically correct? You couldn't share dark stuff or dark stories? Was it one of those green T groups?
It was not green meme. Alton, was it green meme? Igor, was it green meme?
I don't know what that means.
There was like 60% of some of the people who did seem like pretty offended and like were getting into the format thing, or they were just learning about that stuff. I wouldn't, but almost everything they said was green meme to me. I had it that you weren't
surprised about that. I wasn't green meme.
Right.
Yeah, people struggle with that. I would say compare it. What, Cray?
Ooh, I like that. Are you doing traditional tea group?
No, I do it with the guise of we're not there to connect. We are not there to connect. We are there to work out. And I teach it from an angle where I have people bring as much conflict as they're willing to. And it's not about being authentic inherently, and that people can really practice being different behaviorally in their moves that they make within the structure.
Can I give you another tip?
Just the tip.
Yeah, just the tip. Okay. No, see, if you hadn't done the little girl thing afterwards.
I just think it's hilarious. Okay, go ahead, Craig.
It's fine to be hilarious, but don't ruin it with letting a little girl express your hilarity.
Okay, let me just be clear. Am I not allowed to be funny? Am I not allowed to laugh? Do I need to always be so serious and postured and have like the perfect tone? And
you have no idea about what any of those things are from your adult. You have not a clue. You would
Craig,
not be asking that.
Craig,
Yes, Coda?
what is the tip?
Don't put your chin on your hand if you're trying to have a conversation where you want people to be impressed with you.
I'm laying in a position.
Don't do it. It's up to you. You want to come across as that woman, the one who's packing theaters or practicing, packing hotel rooms? Then start acting like it. Your version of it.
Okay. One of the other things that I like to demonstrate in my leadership, Cray, is that people can show up in any way, in any form.
That's a lie.
Is it?
You want your babysitter to come walking in, start naked?
Maybe I want there to be spaces for there to be permission to explore that.
Yeah, but what is the structure of the space you're trying to create? A freaking free-for-all? You want people dumping in the corner? No, you don't. You're not focused in like I think your tea group sounds interesting. Mm-hmm. But if you're just doing, well, whatever works. No, you're like, there are boundaries here, as in any workplace.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And one of the ways that you want to be effective is it's not anything goes. You want to model holding this kind of container for yourself. Mm-hmm. I understand that you had the traumatic childhood where you were put into straitjackets of one kind or another. Welcome to the human race. Your job is to show up as the merchandise that people want to buy. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're looking for closeted pedophiles, you're doing a great job.
Cray.
What do you think using my name and not having anything after it? How many times have I used your name?
I don't give a fuck.
I'm just asking for your opinion about your style. Same way I used to ask Alton about his pointy fingernails.
Okay. I don't really care in this moment how my style.
I don't care. I don't care if you don't care. You're supposed to care because you're trying to get a message across. You're trying to change people. You have an investment in this. Oh, I'm sorry. Your personal, authentic feelings matter more than saving the planet. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I just had my nails done.
Can you stop being a broken record?
What? Back at you, girlfriend.
I know. There's too much
You're
me
not
here.
stopping.
I don't need you to.
Well, this is one of the greatest gifts of being able to reflect the parts that we are could be self-disgusted by. So then we actually stop this behavior.
He knows that I see what he's doing as a gift. I can still be annoyed by it.
I don't give a shit about whether you're annoyed or not. I don't care what you feel about it. I don't care what your history is telling you about it. Listen to the words, listen to the science, get past this facade. Prove yourself that you can come off the goddamn porch. That you can listen to the words, that you're not going to be distracted by the little girl flashes. Most of your flashing is a shit test, Coda. What do you think Igor's self-assured little smile is? Nobody ever comes up and fondles a guy who's having a smile like that.
No way.
He's got his fondling all handled by himself. Yeah, see, right there. Yeah.
Ugh. Fucking yippee.
Keeps him safe.
So what's the alternative, Gray? I mean, you're
What?
the self-assured patterns, which I have similarly, or like shit tests that we're constantly spitting out. How do we, like, what's the better
You have to decide what you want.
Yeah.
You can't just say, Craig, what's the best car to design? I'm like, what are you going to use it for? What he does is really attractive, Igor. Okay, for most people in the Western world, he comes across as in the the upper percentiles of being attractive, self-assured, blah 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 blah. But there's also like a glass wall. You can't. There's if you look at him, there's nothing that's showing up that's saying, oh, he's going to fuck me well, or he's got an animal side that could be interesting. He's like, he shows up and is like, oh, he's a good technician. And if that's what he wants in his life, he's got it down. He's going to walk into an office and people are going to go, oh, you're nice to look at. Nobody's going to drop their trousers for him.
So you're implying that he has to get clear internally and own that he may want to be oriented towards more than being a great technician in an office.
Theoretically.
Okay, so some parts of me want to be more than a great technician. How do I?
You have to identify what it is that you want to be. What is it that there's lacking in your life that you want to bring in? You're not looking so much at the things you don't want. Look at the things you do want to bring in. And once you have that, then you can start building something that you believe will get you more access to that stuff.
Okay, I mean, we're building this community house and running series of events here, and
that doesn't need you to be any different. That's technicians. There are some people who have no idea how to do that. That's a technical thing. You can learn techniques, how to put up job wheels. There's some learning there, but it doesn't require you to be any different. There's two kinds of coaching. There's the coaching about more or less at the same level, and then there's the state changes. What you're focused on is more or less of what you're already more or less competent at.
Yeah.
Now, when Sophia came into your life, that was a horse of a different color. Alton as he wasn't going to tame that filly.
Sophia Mendez.
Yes.
Okay.
And what happened? You didn't shift enough and she left. You can say whatever you want. You can make up whatever story and point to whatever evidence, cherry picking as you will. Okay? But the hard evidence is she left. Could you have been the thing that had her stay? That had her do anything? Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a big claim.
It's a story that you can choose to step into or not. That's up to you. They're all stories.
I Alton, I'm just trying to get a grasp of like, do you actually want to shift? Like it remains unclear to me when I'm in connection with you. I see you doing a lot of labor for people outside of you. I don't know that I see you doing a lot of labor of shifting for yourself.
Mindset.
Alton, what's the number one rule about feedback?
It's always about the other person.
It's about the person giving the feedback.
Yeah.
This is her opinion. This is her vision. This is what she can see. This is not about what she can't see because she can't see it. This is her opinion of you. So in your response, you can typically people will say, bad feedback is about me. And instead of going, you're like, you're this, okay? So the question is, meet her here. It's not, you're not in if you want to be different. If you want to be different, this isn't about who's right. This is her feedback. And if you want to learn to be different, you meet her where she's at. And then you try dancing with her there. The very first thing you can say is, thanks for noticing. I really appreciate you having eyes on me. And all of a sudden she shifts. Because she's coming from the place of the analytical masculine, who's going to be chopping things into pieces and asking why point A and point B aren't synergistically, blah, 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 blah. And she's prepared for a fight. She's prepared for you to defend herself. And she's prepared to bring out the evidence. And if you say, thanks for noticing, all of a sudden the whole dynamics shift. You don't try to argue with a racist. Right then, Coda was demonstrating that she had a position about you. And you can say, gee, thanks for that, asshole. Oh, you're kidding me. Really? You can say, gee, thanks for that. Do you have a Harley outside, Justin?
I just came. I just came from a.
You just came? Why, Jai, thank you.
I
Jeez.
wish. My eyes are dilated. So.
Came? Why, Jai, thank you.
Who's? My eyes are dilated. So.
I'm.
Sorry, thank you. Yeah, I can't take these off. My eyes are way too sensitive right now.
You could take them off, but you would be in pain.
I would be in pain.
It's RoboCop. Yay.
Okay, thanks, Gray, for that coaching. I hear you in that, and I'm grateful, Dakota, you're tracking in this. And
oh, Jesus Christ! Really, really, I'm grateful that you bought some tickets to save the children of Sudan. Jeez, why not just say thanks for watching?
Thanks for watching, Dakota.
Keep it simple. Connect on the human. A good, this might blow your brain into a million little pieces, okay? But just stick to the simplest human descriptions you can.
Okay.
Coda's loading up.
I'm what?
It looks like you're loading your weapons.
No, it's actually the opposite.
You're emptying your weapons? Wow.
I was trying a little bit of an experiment of like, what would it have been like in your prior relationship that fell apart, Alton, if you had practiced what Cray was trying to get us to practice just here right now? What would it have been like to be with what was instead of trying to Ooh, I need to slow down. I'm going to make really big claims.
Yeah, you're making really big claims. You're speaking masculine. Fine.
I don't want to fight right now about it.
That's
When
yeah, and again,
hold on,
that's
hold on. Alton, when you acknowledged what I said in a simple way, I relaxed.
you want Coda, just try. I feel so relaxed with you right now, Alton.
Alton, I feel really relaxed with you right now.
How does how's that different for you? For you, Coda?
Of course it's different. It's less from here. It's
Oh
more from
God.
here. It's more here.
Oh, please explain it all to me, would you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm being sarcastic.
I know.
Right, and then what do you where do we take it from here with all this?
What?
Where would you take it from here?
Take what?
This dynamic or this dance?
Where do you want? Where do you want to go?
Someone shares with you feedback, you're touched, they're tracking you, and they feel more relaxed. Where do you want to go?
Did they say anything intelligent? Did they say anything that you're like, oh my gosh, my I was over revving. Jesus. I don't know. So Alton, can I mess with your brain? I'm really excited to see if Igor's brain explodes too, but I don't think it will. It's on lockdown. 90% of Muggle communication is managing your own state. You're trying to mess with your own symptoms in your communications with others.
Mess with your own symptoms.
Yeah, Coda is talking with you, not because she's terribly interested in you, because there's something happening in her, and she thinks that by saying this thing will change. 90% of your communication is you're fixing your own symptoms.
Okay.
Do you think you look dangerous, Justin?
Dangerous is not something I think I would think I look like. No.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Well, it depends, I guess, what you mean by dangerous, but no, that wouldn't have been something that occurred to me. Do you think I look dangerous?
I think you look like you're pretending to be dangerous.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so a place I would want to go is supporting Justin and filling out, actually experiencing herself as dangerous in a way that permeates the whole room and everyone who sees.
That's fine. That's a great come from. Now you can say, excuse me, Justin, I'm interested in you experiencing being dangerous so that the stench of that permeates the room. And she's gonna look at you like that. Okay. Now you can come up behind her and put your hand up as far up her ass as you can. And I imagine that she's going to get really dangerous really fast, and you will have met your objective. You might be broken in very many pieces on the ground. So what I'm trying to point to is that you're using vague language. Dangerous to you may not be dangerous to her.
Okay, you invoke this term.
Yep.
So what do you?
I put bait out there to see if you guys respond to it. Then when you respond to it, I'm saying you can do that. Stick your, you can do one of those, check her prostate, and then go, whoops, wrong sex. Something like that. Now you see the double eyebrow raise? That's dangerous. In a subculture, that's dangerous. When I just make a joke about mistakenly trying to feel her prostate, and she has a double eyebrow raise, to me, that's like you want to try? Yeah, it's like a flex. It's like guys flex and they want to be more impressive.
It's a dare.
Yeah, it is. And
yeah.
See, she took it up. Are you smelling at all, Alton? She's doing what you wanted her to do.
But you're definitely supporting on there, and yes.
I'm definitely what?
You're being dangerous.
Oh.
See what you just did? Are you Alton? Galton's like, that's fool's gold. I'm like, no, that's not fool's gold.
But I'm
he's like, that's
frustrated by
a
the
fake
fact that
Lamborghini. I'm like, no, Alton, that is not a fake Lamborghini. It wants you to think it's a fake Lamborghini, but it's not.
The majority of that is my consternation.
Yes.
The key is how can I be the source of evoking that in connection with her?
Try putting your fist up her ass.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
You did lay that out. Okay.
So, Alton, there is nothing in your culture or in your particular psychopathology that allows you to be dangerous to something like that. Okay? You can't be dangerous to Coda.
Sorry, to clarify again, it was to have them occur as dangerous. And you're saying
I know, but you have to,
I need to do that to evoke it.
You have to do something such that they become dangerous. It's the difficulty with Justin.
So threaten them. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. But the thing about Justin is that she's very clear is that I'm going to have to go way out on the skinny branches to get anything that's actually she's going to let me see is offensive to her. No matter what I do, no matter what kind of weird shit I'm going, she's going to do that. She's going to smirk and say, old man, you sure talk a lot. You sure talk a lot. You talk well. You talk real well. But when it comes to person, I bet you're just a wuss like all these other assholes I've met. I've met lots of guys who can talk the talk. And when it comes to actually wrestling with the alligator, they all fucking wuss out.
I'm interested that I'm this transparent to you. It's kind of fun.
So she's lying right now. She's like, oh, you've seen some. You haven't seen, I'm not transparent. You're seeing down a level or two. You have a scent, Mr. Graymont. Okay? And right now, may I, Justin? I think that she's a little bit nervous. Underneath that swagger, she's a little bit nervous because the swagger isn't the stuff that's buried. Her swagger's up front. So the 180 has nothing to do with the swagger. The stuff that's in the sub-basement that she's hiding has nothing to do with this.
How do you gently sat along the side of that or dangerously just go straight into it? I'm hearing you evoke, like, Justin, what are you afraid of having come out?
No. Not with the swagger. With the swagger, you have to say, Yeah, it's easy to be the big swagger, huh? To be the dark swagger. You got any clue about how to be a light swagger? Or is that beyond your capacity? Or maybe you don't even know what that's about. Yeah, see, she went straight to dark, which is an admission of failure. She did the double eyebrow raise. Okay. So she's doing the yeah, but I can't actually, you're asking me to admit that I don't play there very often. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay here.
That's interesting. I could be like, I'm wondering, I'm now checking is this bullshit because my experience was I more often play in light swagger, and I feel like my sunglasses are really kind of like inhibiting a lot of being able to see,
If
my
you're the same,
surroundings.
yeah, if you're the same Justin that was here last time,
I
that
am.
was disgusting.
What part?
That whole masturbation thing that you do with people, to where you're like, oh, I'm a circler and I'm a T grouper. And
I've
yeah,
never done any of those things.
Oh, really? Well,
No.
I don't personally. I find that part of you disgusting. I like the thing. I like thinking that you know how to draw blood.
I do. I think.
Yeah, think yeah. So to me, you don't. If you're going to say I think, then you don't.
I don't know if my concern with myself is there's a difference between drawing blood and murder. And
Did I say murder?
No, you didn't. That's what I said with myself. Sometimes I think I'm concerned that if I draw blood, I will go too far.
You're lying. You know how to hold it in. That is like that. Coda does this. A lot of feminines do this. A lot of masculines do it too. Oh, I can't go one step this way because then I'll be in China. I'm like, oh, for God's sake, you can't walk. You think you're going to be overcome with bloodlust? You got a lot of examples of that in your life?
No.
No, you don't. It's a cover story.
Yeah.
So if you're ever with Igor, ask him to lie down on a bed. Ask him to pull his shirt off. You take your thumb, brace your thumb, and see if you can etch a line in his chest that breaks the skin and has blood show.
Ugh. I have to use my finger?
Your fingernail.
Ugh. That's the gross part. The gross part's the nail. It feels so unsanitary.
That sounds super hot to me.
Yeah, I know.
I'd rather use a knife, but I prefer a finger.
The point is to be personal, is to feel the human connection of it, not to stick an object between you and it. He might scar a little bit. He's from Bosnia, for God's sake. He should, scarring shouldn't be that big a deal.
Not that big of a deal.
Yeah. And imagine that he's going to sit there and he's going to willingly ask you to do this, and then he's going to do everything he can to sit there and feel it happen, not to dissociate, to look you in the eyes as it's happening. And I hope he gets to see the carnivore.
Kind of hot.
Kind of hot. Kind of. Sort of like your life. Kind of.
And that's why I'm here.
No, that's not why you're here.
Why am I here?
Entertainment. You think I'm full of shit and you can't wait to point it out?
I don't think I don't know if I think you're full of shit yet. I think there are things I've seen you say and do that I've found, you're going to hate it as I say this, but like insightful and interesting. And I'm curious of what it would bring out in me. And then there are other things that I've had like, is this going to be, it doesn't, I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, you just realized that you responded to that bait a little bit too quickly. Yep. You're like, oh shit, that was adolescent of me. I'm like,
Yeah.
got to be more sophisticated, man. Got to sit back in my chair, make him come to me. More darkness, Justin. Not play darkness. Whatever darkness is to you, go explore it a bit. Do it safely, and you'll do the pony rides first. You know, sex with hamsters, whatever it is, whips and chains, whatever. But you're looking for not what the culture says is dark, but what you say is dark. For me, I was story. Love was dark for me. It took me a long time to walk over there and engage in that place. So it's not what the culture says is dark, it's what you say is dark. The things that are normal in humans that you avoid. The guys are looking at their screens, checking their porn sites. Yeah.
So you know what you're saying, I feel very impacted by a lot of this. You seem much higher like fidelity today to me.
Jeez, Craig.
Feel more
You were
receptive.
a mess last week, Craig.
Well, there's just a lot more of other people going on too.
Yep. I'm going to take a little nap now. You guys wake me when you have something interesting to say.
My go-to is always, if you were in my shoes, how would you live my life differently based on what little you know about me?
Seriously?
Yes. I'm interested, you specifically, Cray, in this context.
Fly to Australia and give Kit 30 days of final say.
You think she would allocate a month of her life to?
You'd have to sell her on it.
Okay. And I typically go for 10 ideas. So one of them is fly to Australia for Kit for a month.
Yeah. I don't think anybody else has the fidelity to track you. You're a squirmy little bastard. Okay? And you're slimy and you're slippery, and it's hard to keep track of.
And okay, I hear that's one to get over like the slimy parts.
No, I'm just saying that she could track you. Let me check my list here. What do I have to do? Oh, I have to go over here. It's like, I think what you're looking for, Alton, is that you're looking for, given that you're cisgendered, that you're looking for a feminine who can get past all of your objections to getting into your pelvis and actually have you be there and to practice doing things from there. I don't think you need any more, masculine how-to things. You need an embodiment practice of some kind. And I think that the difficulty is that you're surrounded yourself with people who are more about the relationship
as opposed to the embodiment of being my pelvis.
Yeah, they don't care why. Ideally, they're just like, this is You know, you're paying me 3 shekels and you're paying me to get you in your pelvis and to keep you there, to make it not an aversive place to be. Or hairy balls, call them hairy balls, whatever you want to call it. Sexuality is a part of it, but it's not all of it. No, you can't do it, Justin.
Okay. Are there any other outlets or avenues for that? That sounds very runnable to me. And tasting that chocolate of knowing what it's like to be in my pelvis and handling all the objections seems very proceduralized.
I mean, God, can I do this? I think so. There's a person I know who is in acting school, David Knott.
Mm-hmm.
And you could ask him about how to craft characters. Again, this is really politically incorrect, but there's a BDSM scenario called prison sex, and you want to practice being the warden or the jail keeper or whatever it is.
If I ChatGPT this, I'll be able to find it or Google it.
I don't know. Justin seems to know what it's about.
The warden or prison guard, you said?
Yeah, it's a scenario in the BDSM world. It's a known type of scene. Why are you smiling, Justin?
I'm Alton's way of approaching things is bringing it out of me. I think there's a little bit of like, I felt the sincerity of wanting to get to that place, but it's like you can't help but like.
Why does that make you smile?
I think part of me does want to almost like shake him out of it. And like,
why does that make you smile?
Because I'm a sadist.
Probably. I would think that your smile is he's going after. Do you know what prison sex scenes are about?
I do, yes.
Yeah. You're looking at him look at it through his intellect, and you're going, oh no, yeah. That's not what it's about, Alton. And you're like, oh, I can imagine what that first scene is going to look like. And that's why you're laughing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
To double clarify, I thought if I'm prison guard, then the other person has to
do exactly what you want to do. Yes.
So is this different than Final Say? This sounds like Final Say.
This is, but you're not.
There's an implicit abuse of power.
There's, yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Thanks. That's a really helpful distinction.
Did you study at a school someplace, Justin?
This specifically? No.
No, I'm not saying this specifically.
I've studied at several schools, but nothing in this culture. This culture is all new to me.
I am not talking about that. You know I'm not talking about it. You're avoiding it. Why are you avoiding it?
I'm unclear because most people in this.
What schools have you studied at?
I went to Pepperdine University for undergrad and Baylor for grad school.
Okay, what was the undergrad in?
Religion and creative writing.
Okay, so you're not saying something there. Something else happened at that place. Yes. You got educated in another way. Okay? Yeah. So what was? Yeah, you're still not saying what it was. That's fine. So what was the post grad about?
Master's in clinical social work to do clinical therapy, but I didn't get certified. I didn't do my hours. Decided it wasn't for me.
Me neither.
Yeah.
And what do you do now?
Oh, various things, mostly.
Oh God, you're such a weasel.
She hangs out with me. Basically,
that's not
she's
a good
hiding
sign.
out.
Do I hang out with you?
Okay, we're in a fight right now.
Do we hang out?
What she's hiding is that she's not currently working.
I am actually, but very limitedly. So I do like some consulting and copywriting, but for most of the past couple of years, I've just been,
Copywriting?
do you know
Oh,
what that?
writing of copy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mostly do that, but like branding and marketing consulting, don't love it. Certified Enneagram coach, prefer that. But yeah,
I'm a counterphobic 6, if that helps.
I know you think you are.
Yeah.
Why do you
Believe
think
me,
you're not an 8?
I don't know anything about it. I've had people
Okay.
who are high up in the echelon
Mm-hmm.
who do things, and they've said counterphobic 6. People are going to think you're an 8.
My
That's what
guess,
they've said.
my guess for you is that you have 6 and 8 in your tri-type, and that I would guess that counterphobic. I don't agree with the distinction of phobic and counterphobic, but I would think that that is your secondary type, and that you're primarily a body type and not primarily a head type. I think your 6 is secondary to your 8 because of your energy and the way you carry it in your body and how you move. And you live for a challenge. You live to move against, from what I see of you. You live for getting to that place that other people like don't want to go. That's what lights you up. 6 lives for
What's
security.
that place in you?
You want me to ruin the surprise, Chris?
The surprise isn't what's important.
That's what I'm trying. Honestly, that's I'm trying. I hope you can find it because I am too good at navigating things.
No.
No.
You get to own it. I'm not going to be your good daddy and say it for you.
Oh, I don't want you to be good daddy. I want you to be bad daddy.
Or bad daddy. That's fine. But I'm not going to do that. You're going to come to the table with what you want to play with. I'm not going to cheat you out of it. I'm not going to seduce you out of it. You get to own it.
I do have a tendency to smooth things. I smooth things over easily and well.
No,
usually. So I'd like to.
No.
Okay, you asked me.
Really?
Then.
Really?
Do I think that normally
you smooth things over?
In normal interactions?
Look at Coda. You think she's smoothed over with you? No.
Yeah. I could though. I could smooth things over with her, and I don't want to.
Yeah. Why?
Why don't I want to? Because that's not real.
No, because you have a preference for something else.
Yes. Oh, yes.
What's the something else?
Fucking genuine honesty and rawness.
No.
Then what?
You like it looks like you like doing what I do, which is pushing people to admit.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
And right now, it looks like you think Coda is lying her ass off.
I think she's so full of shit.
Yes, I understand that. Now, the difficulty is that you don't have any other skill set other than to walk around her building saying, Coda is full of shit, Coda is full of shit, Coda is full of shit. That's all you're doing. You're not doing the thing that's gonna have that break.
So part of what actually we haven't talked about this, but in my like relationship with Coda is me dynamic is wondering like, what would it look like for me to be skillful in that? And what would it be like for me to sort of not do that?
She'd have to be on all fours, begging you.
Yes, that's true.
Because that's your definition of her owning that.
Of her owning what?
Whatever it is that you think that she's full of shit about. May I, Justin?
Yes.
It's easy for you to see the repressed passion because it's so strong in you. It's passion. It can show up in lots. Alton, I imagine that Alton is like the most passionless person you've met. And find the fuse, Justin. Find the fuse in Alton. Light it and watch what happens. it'll feed you for 6 or 7 months. But you have to be way more skilled than you are right now. You can't even light Coda up. She needs to see it as an act of love from you.
I do know that. I
Yeah,
struggle
but
with if I want to.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. If I want
Justin.
to. If my character wants me to.
Justin,
Yes,
Oh,
Dakota.
Jesus.
what did you think of the audio message I sent you that you ignored?
I've
You didn't
literally
ignore it.
been at an eye doctor for like the last 3 hours. So I listened to it in the bathroom. And I almost responded to it in a way that I don't know how you would have
Yeah, you see,
enjoyed it.
this is all shite, Justin.
What do you mean?
This is shite.
What I'm saying?
Yeah. It's not going to give you the response that you want. You're
Which
doing
is why I
defense.
didn't say anything.
Yeah, but now try saying something that's going to light the fuse. Oh, little Justin. Light the fuse.
Yeah.
You're either going to do it positively or negatively. You're looking for her to explode. Now, if she explodes in rage, she's probably going to get triggered and
Right.
flooded.
Dakota,
And it's going to.
I see
No.
so much fucking life in you.
No. Tell her what you felt when you heard the audio message.
Okay, it's a couple minutes long. Let me replay it.
No. Jesus. God, you're such an arrogant little bitch that has no freaking skill sets. And thank God that you have such an attractive package that you can distract them with that. Good God.
I'm here to learn.
No, you're not. You're here to preen. You're preening.
That could be fun too. What did I feel? What did I feel? I felt disappointment.
So now just try. Ask her the question again, Coda.
Justin,
Hmm.
how did you feel when you listened to my audio message?
That's your cue, Justin.
I felt
No.
disappointment and resignation.
No, I felt.
No, I felt?
No, why are you saying that? If you say
Resigned and disappointed.
now, put some belly into it. Stop reading off the teleprompter and actually say the words and give her the feeling of it.
I felt disappointed, a sense of resignation, and then also a sense of fear come up in me of what might happen if I actually respond.
No, you've gone too far.
Okay.
She didn't ask you for what your plans were after you digested and analyzed your feelings.
And afraid.
Okay. So try it again, but put anger behind
it. I felt disappointed. And I felt resigned.
How does that feel, Justin? Having anger informing it?
Better.
If I was in your shoes, I would be so pissed off at the world. I'd want to burn it down because it's not delivering what it's supposed to be delivering.
I do want to burn it down.
Yeah. They're a bunch of weak-willed, not strong, scared little pussies running around. And you're starving to death.
Yes.
Yeah. Keep acting like you're acting and you will starve to death. There are 2 men who are paying attention to their fucking screens instead of you. That's how you're showing up in the world, Justin. They should be riveted.
I think they're afraid.
Well, I understand that. If you're like, oh, okay, they can be afraid. You either make them terrified, you call them out, or you do something to have them stop being afraid. Or sit there and whine like the little bitch that you are.
What are you guys looking
There feminine talking to me somewhere on the planet?
Should I? Or are you
I
saying
don't
I should
know.
try masculinity?
I don't.
I feel like I can do both.
No, really? I don't think you can do feminine. I haven't seen you do feminine.
Even when I was, as you put it, masturbating, you didn't think any of that was any kind of femininity?
No, no.
I thought it was.
It's not the mechanics.
I felt like I
Who's
have a
doing it?
receptivity to Ali. It's easier for me to do with women than it is for men.
I think Ali is a tremendous force on the planet. And yeah.
Well, it was more her softness though than her force. For me, that invited my own softness.
This is so when you're talking softness, this is like Alton saying, my balls. I'm like, oh, really? Or Igor, even. Igor, man, but Igor saying, wow, I feel really turned on. I said, you feel turned on? Really? That's what you call being turned on? Oh, okay. I don't think you have any idea what feminine softness is about. It's not weak. It's not marshmallow.
I feel like if I should I try acting it? Because I think it would.
You're asking me? You're asking me?
I am asking.
No. You ask on your knees.
Oh.
That little girl. See what she's doing, Coda? That little girl laughed.
This is helpful for me. Yeah.
She has just as much potential as you do.
Oh, I really
She's
do.
good.
You have no idea. As I can do what she does.
Stop. Sorry.
What?
I'm gonna.
Let it go, Coda.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do your zombie eye thing.
I know I've experienced within myself that very same reaction and potential to placate and to have a sense of safety and endearment by becoming small. Very easy for me to do. So I'm saying I recognize I've seen it in myself. That's what I was trying to say.
Other feminine reading the sensitive teleprompter. Yeah, she's way more masculinized than you are, Coda.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay? She's had a lot more, training for that straitjacket. Alton, you gotta jump in more.
My pelvis feels sated, and I don't have much else from here I need.
Yeah, but no feminine ever wants to hear you say that. You gotta fake it. All right? You gotta fake it. When they're sitting there and they're starting to rev up, you gotta do your best. You gotta do your best. Your pelvis, you still got fingers. You still got a brain, you still got your tongue, you still got your voice. You guys don't have the training that it takes to keep up with them. Yes, that's true. They're noting when you check out. They're noting that they're putting something forward that they don't usually put forward for computer geeks. Okay? And if you continue to respond to it like computer geeks, they're going to be like, next.
Sure. I feel good about our one-on-one connections. This is a different context where my come from is distinct.
Okay.
The practices are well articulated, and the person card, it is something that GPT recognizes and has offered very specific practices I feel good about taking on.
I love how people are now referring to ChatGPT as their external authority figure. It's like, are you guys insane? It's fine. It's people who think ChatGPT has answers, and it's not really about answers. But I'm glad that you.
there's enough shared reality to load it into my meaning maker and to deliberately.
Okay, that's fine.
What does that mean, Alton? I don't know what that means.
It has enough context to have me take this on independent of these containers. And I have high confidence that I'll practice it probably specifically also with you in this upcoming week.
So, Justin, don't flip it on him, okay? Don't become the warden. I don't think he could take that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be what I would offering.
I
don't think he means literally, and I don't think it was what you were offering.
Careful, Justin.
What?
You're gonna get what you want if you don't be careful. Yeah, look over the top of your glasses at me, young lady.
I was actually me looking down. You just couldn't tell.
Any other practices you see for taking on more, moving from pelvis?
That's a good one, and with every single. Don't do it with the guys yet. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let me do the flirting with Jochen. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Every single feminine you're with, every single feminine that you're with, I don't care. Check out lines, buses, anybody. You're always checking into your pelvis. You're always saying, if nothing else, I need to have an awareness of my pelvis when I'm interacting with a feminine. That's the baseline. If you have trauma associated with that, you're going to notice that it is next to impossible. And it's just, if you apply yourself, 2 weeks, maybe, 3 weeks, maybe. You don't have to do anything with it at first. You just have to be present with it. Is that different for you, Coda? Don't do that with your tongue.
What did you say?
Don't do that with your tongue.
Before
And
that?
you look like you're having a different experience.
Yeah, I'm choosing to have a different experience right now.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
You don't look like you're 11 years old.
I don't feel it.
Now you do. Yeah,
Okay,
it was a nice try. It was a nice try.
I'm going back. I don't want to engage.
So, Coda, the practice is to hold it while you're engaging.
I'm wondering if it would help if I told you that I liked it.
She's going to appreciate watching you try. And it's going to be endearing watching you flip back and forth. My interpretation is that she's saying, oh, she's trying to be present with me as a woman rather than as a little girl. That's my interpretation of what I think about her. It's just a story. And you want to find the people who prefer you as a woman rather than flirty teenager. Your primal character isn't going to like So my request is that you have a list of, speak of the devil. Request that you have a list of, it's the devil. So you want to have a list of your teenager responses. And then you want to come up with what your adult responses would be.
Allie.
That wasn't it. Jesus Christ. That quick? What is so forbidden that you have to turn into a 12-year-old when you're looking at Allie?
Allie.
Yes.
It's really nice to be with you right now.
Try again. Try again. It's Mrs. Chipmunk, it's really nice to be with you right now. Maybe we can sing a song together.
Cray, I don't want to.
I don't care. I don't care. I mean, to me, it's like Alton saying, I don't want to feel right now. I'm like, I don't really care what your character's telling you. Well, if you want to align behind it, that's fine. That's, I can't make you do anything.
Allie.
Coda.
Hi. I can't deal with your facial reactions, Cray. It makes me
I'm
not.
I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at Allie and trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
Mm. Mm. Allie, I'm really grateful that you chose to show up in spite of how busy you've been today.
That was so it's so anticlimactic. My sound cut out right as you were about to say whatever you're gonna say.
Are you accessing base, Allie? That sounds lovely.
It's because I keep alternating between using my phone to actually hear the call and my laptop playing the sound. Am I accessing base?
Yeah.
I do feel deeper and more grounded in my body than usual.
Huh. Anything else, Alton? It was a nice suit the guy was wearing.
I wanted Allie to hear what you shared about her directly. Paid Allie a big compliment previously. And I wanted her
Played
to
Allie a big compliment.
You
I don't
described her
remember.
as a force of nature. And I was touched by that.
I would never say that. I would never depersonalize
It
that.
was one of the great forces in the world, is what I recall. Very.
Thank you.
So what? It's a grumpy old man's opinion. Careful, Allie. What are you doing?
Experiencing joy? What are you doing?
I'm confused. Right? It's like you're speaking Argentinian or something. This doesn't fit my recollection of Allie before. And I'm trying to make sense of it, given my prejudices and everything.
There's some things like I mean, not sure how much I'm comfortable saying on this.
No, don't do anything.
Broadcast to the world. I think I'll just
No.
leave it mystery.
Yep, thank you. Anything else, Alton? My keeper just showed up, you know.
Great. Thank you, Cray.
Good
You can go.
night.
Okay, here we are for after hours. And
My favorite part.
I'm gonna take a breather for some of this and enjoy, guys.
Wow.
Probably gonna head out in a minute to get food. Um,
I'm gonna go ahead and say hi to JJ. Doesn't work.
what?
Great seeing you all.
Hi.
Hi, Igor. Is this still being live streamed, or does that mean we're done being live streamed?
Just still live stream. I'll probably take it off in 3 to 5 minutes here.
Cool.
Allie. I want to be in my little girl with you. Fuck Cray. I mean, I can be in my woman with you too, but it's just good to see you. And your energy is different right now, like really different. And I feel curious and I'm experiencing a bit of tenderness and heaviness seeing you.
What does your little girl want to do with me?
She wants to like go to a room where nobody else is there and we can just kind of muddle around and cry and talk about our feelings and like stomp around.
Stop. I like the stomping around. That sounds really fun. We need like really big clompy shoes though.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah. That sounds really nice. Hmm. What is your vibe right now, Allie? Can you communicate with us what is going on in your world?
Hmm. Well, I just experienced a feeling that I would describe as a breakthrough. I've been working on this one project that I'm not going to specify in the live stream for about 4 or 6 weeks. And I received a lot of no's along the way. Pretty much consistent no's of this project, and it's pretty much fallen consistently short of any expectations I may have had, and has looked like basically a total failure up until about 10 minutes ago. And the moment of breakthrough or the tide changing happened suddenly and over the course of just a couple minutes, and I feel pleasantly surprised. And I also just came from a class where I was really, really, really embodying my strength and also my sexuality. And I do feel very grounded and present.
Hmm. Thank you for helping me to get your world more.
Hmm.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I feel excited for you.
Yeah, it's like that interesting, when that feeling you have when you're trying to make something happen and you can tell you're trying a little too hard, but you can't quite get the right amount of effort and non-attachment.
Mm-hmm.
It was just such a surprise that this breakthrough came because I'd pretty much completely let the thing go. Like, all right, I'm just gonna keep focusing on these other parts that are in my control and keep moving forwards, even though there's not even no light at the end of the tunnel. There's really no tunnel at all anymore. I don't really know where I am, but I'll just keep taking steps forwards in the dark.
Powerful. Hmm.
Yeah, I think that is one of my greatest superpowers.
Hmm.
It's owl medicine.
Hmm.
What
What?
is owl medicine?
Well, I've had 2 experiences with owls. live owls. One passed away on the land where I lived in Hawaii a few years ago. And my friend had just seen it the night before, only a few hours prior. And it was a young bird, and we don't know why it passed. But I built an altar for it and, honored it before we ended up burying it. And just through communing with the owl, like what it's come to mean to me is the owl is one of the only creatures who can hunt in no light at all, not even a little. And the way it does that is by making a soundscape. So it's using essentially echolocation to judge distance, to go for its prey. And sometimes I have this feeling in life like I close my eyes and I feel like I'm in the void. And I've like lost track of which way is up or forwards. It's just one of those moments in life where you kind of like stop and like, oh shit, I have no idea. Just totally lost orientation completely. And I find that in those moments, always some light flickers through or some sound comes through the horizon to help you reorient, to find which way is up and which way is forwards. And to me, owl medicine is about navigating when you're completely in the dark.
Thank you.
Ellie, I have to run out. I don't want you to feel like I'm abandoning you. I'm glad you showed up for a second. And I really enjoyed those moments of feeling your energy. I didn't have a name for it or what it was, but I felt something. I felt like, I don't know. I could feel like it's so difficult sometimes to put language to somatic experiences, but like the slightly electric tingle of it, but coming from like a grounded and present place that didn't feel like it had like force or pretense. And it just for a moment, and I just felt it. And I don't know if that's what you were experiencing. It was more something about, maybe it was that like some sense of like release that you felt and like relief. I don't know. I felt it and I enjoyed it. Okay. I'm gonna go. See you guys later.
Bye, Jess.
Reflection.